Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So if you watched the previous video, and I hope you did, you saw that I changed what the cover of my journal is going to be made of. And the reason I did that was because after I started on cutting and all that stuff, I realized that the cardboard, or not the cardboard, the paper was not going to be strong enough to hold all of the art projects that I was going to put in it. So I changed it to this smaller bookboard that I had. And it just so happened that I had it and I didn't have to cut it. Now it is white, but that's okay. I can paint it, I can decorate it, I can pretty much do whatever I want with it. And I cut my spine yesterday. Now my spine is, oh wait, did I write on it? I did not, you silly woman. My spine is I thought I did. My spine is 1 inch wide, and it will go in here, and I'm going to have 2 signatures. Now my signatures are not going to be sewn in. I don't think. I'm thinking I may use just twine to put them in so I can take the pages out, or I don't know. You know what? I may change my mind. Who knows? I'm just getting started on this. So I may sew them in and I may not. Who knows at this point? But I know for the cover, I want to create something like this, this on it, but I want to put this, create art every day on it, maybe across the bottom here. So I've been collecting my, my craft paints to do that. Now, I have not painted, I have not done anything like this in eons, I tell you. So, if you like to do things like this, then I invite you to join me for this project because I think it will be fun. And, or I know it's going to be fun, and it's going to be messy. And, because our background has lots and lots of colors and doodles in it. Now, these are the colors. Now, I'm going to kind of lift you up here a little bit and try to keep you in focus. Let me show you the colors that I have chosen. Let me move my magazine out of the way here. I'm going to put this stencil in here that's on my desk while I show you my colors. Now, my book is 5 by 7. So, my colors that I have chosen are lime green, and there's a light pink. This is folk art paints, and there's a licorice black, and there's a magenta. Now, this is an apple barrel, but that's okay, and it's a golden sunset, and there's an alfalfa green. And then I have my Liquitex Basics. I have an aqua green, a turquoise blue, and another, I can't read what it says, another magenta. So I'm going to cover my board here. So I'm not getting paint on it. I might actually move it and just cover my thing down here. So that we can get started. So I'm going to put my paint over here for a second. And now this, I've been trying to decide, I don't think I want to do it straight on this. I'm thinking I want to do it on, I have, let me get a hold of it here. Here it is. I have some, mixed media paper that I want to do it on, and I'm going to cut this in half, and then I'm going to mount it on here like that. And then in the background on this, I'm going to just add some more of these colors and doodles so that it just kind of fits. And I'm going to include some of these colors. See how these kind of go together? I'm going to include some of these colors that are up here. Now, not this flower, but some of these colors and doodles up here. Now, I used to do this all the time. I have journals full of this. And then I just quit. When I started doing junk journals, I just quit. Okay, so I'm not going to use this page. So let's get back in there. So let's get this out of the way here because I don't want to get paint on it. Now, the best thing to do when you're doing this is to make sure that your surface is protected, especially if you're using paint, because you don't want to get your surface covered in something that isn't going to come off. Now, this is a laminate, so I could most likely get the paint off of it. You know, even if it dried, I could scrape it off. But I don't want to get the paint on it. So I'm going to cover it completely like this. And then I'm going to take some tape, and on my cart here, someplace, here it is, I have some masking tape. And I'm going to tape it down. And by taping it down, I know it's not going to wiggle and jiggle on me. Come on, you. And I don't mind if it gets on my hands. It won't be the first time. And I know mine's not going to look anything like hers. I know it isn't, and I'm okay with that. Okay. And I know some of you are saying, why am I taping it, the whole thing down? Well, I'm taping the whole thing down because, like I said, I don't want it wiggling and jiggling on me. And I'm okay with using masking tape all the way around. And if I get paint on it, I might use some of it. Do you guys use masking tape in your art? Things like this? Do you guys use masking tape in some of your mixed media? Okay. Now, that's down. Now, it's kind of bubbly down here, but yeah, that's all right. Now, I am going to take off my rings that have stones in them, and I'm going to put them right there in that drawer because I do not want to lose them. And like I said, I want to cut this in half. So, I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to use the fold to kind of guide me. Maybe if I can see it. So I hope you guys are doing well today. There we go. Huh, that was pretty good considering I couldn't see it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll use that piece. Yeah, let's make sure it's straight. Yeah, that did pretty good. Okay, so I want to go on and round these corners on here before I want to do before I paint. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay. So now my corners are rounded. Now I just have to remember to round the corners on the other side. And that means I want to round all 4 corners on this. And I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to stand up here. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay. There, okay. Now, I'm just going to put dollops of paint right up here in the corner, okay? Now, let me grab my big brush. Okay, here are my brushes. So we're going to put those over there. And our water jars are, oops, there they are right here. There it is. And for things like this, well, I was wrong. Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm getting my paints out. I've got my water, getting all my colors out. Now, I couldn't find my light yellow. So, and I'm putting gloves on to paint because we're going out tonight. Now, I don't want paint all over my fingernails. So, I'm going to try this dandelion yellow. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to try it. Oh, that's light enough. I think that might work. But I got this cool bisque just in case for the middle of my flower. Just in case. So we'll try a little of both and see. Alright, so let's get started here. So I've got my picture sitting over here to kind of guide me and see what I want to do. Let's put that over there. So this original picture is small. It's only like a, I think it's like a, I don't know, 2x3 or something, because it's in a journal, this one. And we're going to make it a 5x7, and I'm going to do it in my style. And down here, this is a black pencil, and I know I've got one somewhere. I just have to dig it out. And then we're going to use things like this for the background of my page that mine is sitting on. So I've got it over here to kind of remind me of what's happening. So I'm going to do this one first. I don't need that. I don't need that gold. And I've got some brushes out here, and I've got some paper towels and my water. I've also got some gesso. Now, what do you use gesso for? I use gesso if I overpaint an area and I don't like it. I dry it, and then I use gesso to kind of go in with my fingers and just kind of lighten it up a little bit. I love, love, love gesso. It's like one of my favorite erasers. And I just love it. It's one of my favorites. Now, I don't wet my brush before I use gesso because you don't need to, really, but you can. Now, I'm going to go in and kind of get my board covered in gesso here a little bit. Now, you're not going to be able to see the gesso, but I can, because I don't want this girdling. I just want this covered. And because this is cardboard, I don't want it gurgling up. So I'm just going to gesso it up here real quick and let it dry. Just kind of like this. So I'm just gessoing it up. And it dries really quick. You know, there. It's almost dry. And then I'm going to take my paper towel. And I'm just going to wipe this off. Just like that. Okay, and then up in here, I'm going to start, and I'm not even going to take much of that gesso off. I'm just going to kind of wipe it on my paper towel. And I'm just going to leave what's there. And up in here, I'm going to start doing some yellow, I'm going to start doing my lime green and my light yellow. Now, I'm going to put down my light green, my green first, and I'm just going to tappity, just like this. And I'm just going to, oops, my fingers got in there. And I don't know where that's going to show up, so I'm just going to kind of letting it do its thing here. So my little journal I'm making, it's kind of going to be a little art journal. So if you like to create little art journals, I'm going to invite you to play around with me. And then I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to take it in and add it in places. Now mine looks absolutely nothing like the one over here. Absolutely nothing. Whoops, put it in the wrong color. Absolutely nothing like it. Okay, I'm going to rinse that off. And I'm just going to put this aside and let it dry. And I think I want to kind of blend this bottom piece a little bit. Because I want to add a little bit of this blue. Just a little bit. Because my picture has some blue, so I want to add a little bit of blue around in here. And since my brush is a little wet, it'll blend a little bit. I know it looks like a mess, doesn't it? Just looks like a freaking mess right now. This is its messy stage. That's all right. Every piece of art goes through a messy stage. It's going to have a messy stage. Now this is going to sit. Okay. I want some more blue. Oh, see, I like that. I like that. Whoops, come back here. Okay, I'm going to let this dry because I can't do anything else with it until it dries. So I'm just going to put it up here right now. Okay, now we're going to come into this one. and I'm gonna switch brushes. I want this brush. This is my big fat brush that I like. Now let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing because I paint closer to me. So I think I'm gonna need to bring you closer to me. Okay. All right, I'm gonna need some more of my, this is the bright aqua green. Because I'm going to use that. Now, I'm painting now on my mixed media paper. And I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. So my paint spreads a little, oh my gracious, spreads a little better. And I'm going into my aqua green. And I think I want some blue, and I think I want some blue up here. I'm making room for my flowers, what I'm doing. Where's my pencil? I want my flower up here. So I'm very lightly, I mean, I barely touched it. That's where I want my flower. So I know that's where I want it. And I don't want blue there. And I'm not painting neat. I'm just kind of painting. You know, just painting here and there. And now I want a little bit of green in here. Maybe some down here. Okay, I think I have too much over here of the blue. Yeah, my gloves I think are too big. And I think I might have too dark up here. All right, let me see if I can get my flower. Maybe that'll kind of guide me a little bit better. All right, I'm mixing my magenta with a dab of yellow to get the color that I want. Haha, that's my color. I love, love, love this color. Okay, now I don't know if you can see my pencil line. Probably not. I can barely see it. This is my favorite color. And I just took magenta and I took my yellow and I mixed it. And I'm kind of following my little pencil outline here for my color that I like to give me my flower color. And I never mix exactly the amount that I like, but that just means I have to mix more, and that means I get different shades, I get different. Okay, so give me a darker shade. That means I want to add some magenta and just a little bit less of the yellow. And I'll take the rest of it and add it in. And it'll still be the same color. It'll just be a little bit darker. And I'll just bring it down. Okay, so there's my flower. I think this is dry. It's hard to tell. Find a finger doesn't have anything on it. Yeah, it's dry. I can touch it. Put some dark up here. Okay, now that has to dry, kind of get out any big blobs that I have that I know won't dry properly. And look in my camera and make sure I like it. It's a little too light. Okay, so let's get this rinsed. Okay, so now I want to add the simulation, I guess you might want to say, a simulation of some, now my stem, so I'm going to take my pencil again so I don't, paint too much in the area, but I'll have my black charcoal pencil will go in here, but I don't want to forget it. And then my leaves will come over in here and down in here. So I need my greens, my yellows, and then I want some yellow back in here to look like maybe some sunshine. And I want to add some, so let's add some yellows up into our blues. And I want to bring it down close to my flower, but not so close that it, interferes with my flower. Now this is getting a little, I want to add some blue. I want to add some yellow underneath my flower. You know, because, you know, sunshine doesn't just stop. But I also need my greens. All right, so I need my greens for my flower, for my leaves. I need my greens for my leaves. So let's drag this around here. And I'm just tapping in, like grasses and I need some, see, I don't need, I think I want, now I want to add some more blue down here. Now I'm also going to be splattering that black, and before I do that, I'm going to have to cover things up or I will make a mess. So let's get that covered. Let's maybe get some of this. Let's thin this off a little bit. To lighten that up a little bit. Oh, I like that better. Now I thinned that a little bit to kind of make it a little watery. And I do think I like that a little bit. Oops. Oh, darn. Hold on a minute. Let's wipe this off. Luckily, it's going to be on the back, but... So let's get this. Now, let's add some of that watery blue up in here. Now I like that watery blue. Now I think I'm going to add some of this gesso in there too. So let me get some out with my finger. Well, you know what? I think I can use my, I'll just use this. Because I want to use this. I want to add a little bit in here. I want to break this up a little bit. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Oh, hold on here. I gotta sit down, you guys. How much time have I taken? Okay. And I want to break up some of this yellow with this gesso. I think I want to use my smaller brush. To get around this. I love using mixed media paper and watercolor paper when I'm doing things like this, because it lets me just be creative and not worry that my paper is just gonna, you know, collapse. If I was trying to do this on paper like coffee dyed paper, it would not be able to handle it. It would, you know, it wouldn't be able to handle all the water. Or now it might handle some of the paint, but it would not handle a lot of the water. Okay, I want to add some more, maybe through here. Now I want to add a little gesso down here across the bottom. Now, if you're doing something like this and you kind of get lost in it and you're thinking, I am not sure what's wrong here, turn it upside down. It gives you a whole new perspective of things. That tip was given to me a long time ago by a very, very good friend and artist, because I got stuck doing a project and she very simply said, turn it upside down, Lori. And I think I gave her the look of that I was simply a crazy person. She said, just turn it upside down. It'll give you a whole new perspective. And it did. And I was able to actually finish the project and get it done. This side needs broken up here. This is just too much. This is just too much. Instead of giving up and, you know, just walking away from it, because that's what I was ready to do. I was just ready to just walk away and say to her, I'm just done. I just can't figure this out. Something is just not right. Now, you can color your gesso. If something's not right and you need to add, if you don't want a white gesso background, you can color your gesso. Put it out on your page like I did here, and either add some permanent ink to it, add some of your paint to it, and you can do it that way even. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera for a minute, and I'm going to dry this with my drying tool, and that way you don't have to listen to it. And then I will be right back, and I'm going to look at this one last time, and I think then we're going to wrap it up on here. And we're gonna, because I think this other piece is dry, and then we're gonna mount it on the cover. You know what? I just figured out something that we need to break up these colors. I just figured out. Let's try this. Now I'm just playing here. I don't. Because I don't need anything, but I want an accent color. No, I need more of that. There. That's what I'm looking for. That's the color. This peachy, orangey. I need that as an accent color. Something was missing. Something was missing on this blue. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out, oops, water dripped, what it was. That's what it was. I needed this. Oops. I needed these accents. I needed to break up that blue. Okay, I'm going to dry this, so I'll be right back. Because I have to take it off of this cereal bag to dry it. And then I will be right back, and we will go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so everything's dry, and I'm ready to go here with what I want to do. I think everything's dry. I think the only thing that's not dry might be the up here at the top. So what I want to do here is I want to add my marks in my flower, my stem, and all that stuff. So, and my marks plus my splatter. So I'm trying to decide, do I see how it's splattered? I love splatter. So I'm trying to decide, do I splatter now and dry it, which I'm kind of thinking I should, or do I wait and splatter later? If I splatter now, then I can splatter over in my wet area and not get it all over things, because I do have a splatter box, and then I can dry it. Because I want to, I don't want to splatter on the back of this. I only want to splatter this. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go on and do the marks on this, and then we'll splatter this before we mount it. So let's go on and do that. Now, for my markings, I'm going to use my gold Uniball, my white Posca, and it's a size 1, and my black Posca. Now, I still have paint on my desk. So what I need to do to make sure that I'm not dragging things through paint is get that taken care of. So the only color that I may use again, so I'm going to line this up here and see if I want to add, let's temporarily add this, and see if I want to add any of that new color to this. And I think I do. I think I want to add that orange color up here in this corner before I take this off. So I think I want to add just want to add a little bit like that. And I think I want to add over here. This is too dark. So I'm going to add some gesso over here. This is too dark. I need to dry my brush off. This needs to be white. Now, because this board is green, I will paint the edges green. Yeah, I like that better. And I will put, I do like that better. Now, this down here already has a little bit of white. But I think it could probably go a little bit. Now, I didn't clean my brush, so that's okay. I don't mind that. And I'm taking it up and under. And since my board's right here, I'm just going to drag it here on the side. Okay, there. Okay. And then before, let's go on and do, now, since we're going to do some splatter, let's go on and do the edge of this. Because the inside will be covered too, so I don't mind if it gets, I don't know where that came from. I must have drug it. Let's go on and get this painted here. And then when we cover the inside, that will take care of it. Okay, I need to sit down. Okay. Okay, and then I'll go on and do this off camera. No sense you guys having to watch me paint that. So I think I will go on and splatter since it does have to dry. So, so let's put that aside. Now, to make my splatter, that way we can just get rid of this all at one time. Let's shake up our black paint. Put a little bit of it down. Ooh, that was more than I needed. And I'm going to use my big fat fluffy brush here. Oh wait, there's my fan brush. Let's use that. Let's use my fan brush. There it is. Let's use Fluffy. That'll do better, because we don't need a lot. Okay, so let's pull a little bit out, because all we need is a little bit. And let's get it wet. Okay, we're going to need more water than that. You guys do know I'm going to make a mess, right? Yeah, let's make sure I can keep this down here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. All right, we'll put this over here. Now, let's get this off of my table. And I will take care of the green paint for that other piece. But I don't want this paint here while we're working. Let's get this water off of the table so we're not spilling it. There we go. Okay. Now this will very quickly dry. Doing that, I am going to put my paintbrushes in a paper towel. Don't you fall on the floor, you little stinker. Now, you could very easily just let this sit and dry wherever you have space to do it if you want. And that would be just fine. But I don't want to put my hands in it while I'm making my final marks. So I'm just going to let this, I'm just going to use my dryer here real quick. Okay. And I'm going to put my brushes in here, get them off the table. Now I'm also using for my final marks my black pencil. It's a aquarelle. I cannot talk today. Aquarelle pencil. I have a brown one. I just can't find it anywhere. But I'm going to use the black one anyhow. All right, let's put those over there. And I'm going to use that. And I am just quickly, I am not going to pay much attention here really to what I'm doing. I'm just going to okay. And that's kind of, this is just kind of all I'm doing here. Now, with my black pencil, or pen, I'm sorry, it's my pen. This is my Posca pen, and it is a number 1, and it is a black. I'm sorry, a light went out. I think my bulbs are out on it. Let's see if I can give you guys some more light. Let's try this one. That works. PJ is saying hello to you guys. Okay. Now, on my board here, on this one, I'm going to use my white. Now, I will mix up some more of the orange because I do think I need some more orange touches on the bottoms, maybe the sides. Now, I do still need my words, and I'm probably going to put create up here and then maybe art down here, but I want to get my markings on here first. And I need to see where this is going to fit. Let's see. So I think this is going to go right in here. And to go right in here, make sure this is straight. Whoops, a doodles. Oh, well, I pushed that too hard, didn't I? Okay, let's wipe that off. Yep, all I wanted was a dot. Ah, yuck. Don't push, Lori, don't push. Oh, I did it down here too. Gracious sakes. Oh my, I must not have stored these properly. Or at least not this one. I know, I think Poscas you're supposed to store laying down, and this one was standing up. Yeah, I don't think I stored this one properly. So I'll have to be really careful with it. I might actually have to use something else because it is not doing well. So let's lay that one down. And let's use one of my other markers. Oh, gracious. Okay, let's grab a different marker. And we will store those laying down. Hold on a second. Alrighty. Well, I think we are going to add some gold. So, to both of them. So, I'm going to use my Uniball and I'm going to use my gold. So, let's make sure that it's a going. So, we are going to add some gold to both of them. I do have my other Posca that has been stored properly, but I am not going to take a chance. And we'll add gold to that one too. So let's add a little bit of gold over here. Maybe we'll add a little bit of gold here in the flower. Excuse me. Oh my. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oops, forgot to do these. Okay, there we go. Now, for the writing on it, I want to use something that's permanent. So, I'm going to use one of my permanent pens. And this is just a graphic writer's pen. It's water and fade proof. And I'm just going to use my handwriting. It's going to be whatever it is. It's my handwriting, so it is what it is. And I'm probably not going to write cursive. I'm going to print it because I get the shaky hand. Let's see. So, but I do want create art every day. Let's see, maybe I'll put art up here. Maybe I want to make that a little darker. I think I might want to put every day over here. Every day. Okay. Now that's going to sit like that. Okay, so let's get that glued down. Now I am going to use, is it this one? I want to use my, I'm going to use my tacky glue. Maybe not, because it is so cold, it will not come out of the bottle. Okay. So I think instead, I need something that comes out of the bottle. We're going to use this tacky glue. And then I'm going to put it under a book. But first I will paint sides. Okay. Now, I really like this glue. It is a very, very nice glue. It sticks well. It does not, you can use it for fabric. You can use it on paper. You can use it on ribbons. There we go. Get on the sides. Oops, that's upside down. Now I will put this under a book so it stays nice and flat. All right. I tried not to get paint on my desk and I still did. Ah, there's the cover to our new journal. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. There we go. I had so much fun creating this. I hope you guys create something like this. If you do, feel free to post it in the community section because I'd love to see it. That was so much fun. I haven't done anything like that in such a long time. I mean, a really, really long time. And since we added the gold, I might add gold around the edges on top of some of that green. That was really fun, you guys. And I really do hope that you make some. And this was from the original pictures that we created from right there. And this is mine where I combined them. So, you know, that's where I combined mine. So I do hope that you had fun today. And I do hope that you come back and visit me again here at the Ladybug Journals, where we have fun and we explore and we learn new things. And every day is an adventure. So until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.